Good evening, rockers. Vegas Rock Goddess here on the Rocks. Total entertainment. Coming to you live from somewhere off the Las Vegas Strip. Today, I'm interviewing an amazing band, A Light Divided. This band is hitting Spotify hard with some amazing followers. The song Rain is completely incredible. So today, we are going to get to know A Light Divided. So hang tight and let's rock. Right, here we go. We're going to let Jaycee Clark in and we're going to get the party started. Hey, Jaycee, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, welcome to On the Rocks Total Entertainment.
I appreciate you having me today.
Yeah, coming live from Las Vegas right here in town.
Hey.
Super excited to talk to you. I've been listening to your music.
Oh, great.
I love Rain. It's an
Thank you.
song. At first, I listened to it before I saw the video, the live performance. And let me tell you, the live performance blew me away.
Oh my God, thank you. I was so sick and like trying to just fumble my way through it.
Yeah,
so you made my day. I needed that.
No, you didn't even bat an eyelash. I mean, seriously. But let's get started for the viewers who don't know who A Light Divided is. Tell us a little bit about how this band got started.
So I started A Light Divided when I was 19 years old. It was like my first real band that I started myself. So came into it. I had no idea what I was doing. And, you know, I just started writing angsty songs as a teen and, you know, pointing fingers and just kind of fumbling my way through learning how to do this. And then it wasn't until 2018 when I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to like take this more seriously and really have a voice. I know who I am. I know what I want to do. And it's just been sort of a crazy ride since then.
Right. So 2018 is really when you started this band then.
Yeah, I think that's when we first started taking it seriously and
right.
Kind of like refined our sound. And, you know, we were doing like a dual vocal sort of thing. And I was just like, well, if, you know, I'm the singer, I think I just want to be the singer of this band. So we kind of stopped doing that. And like I said, this really kind of found our niche, I think. And it's just been, yeah, I think 2018 is, sorry, I have like a whole bunch of crazy stuff that decided to pop up. But I think 2018, I think 2018 is when I would be confident in saying, this is who the band is now.
Right. Now you're from the East Coast, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are you located?
I live in Nashville now. I moved here 2 years ago, so that's been a fun journey.
Love Nashville.
I have become like the welcoming committee of Nashville. Anytime someone says they're coming through, I'm like, oh, hit me up. Let me show you around. Like, I love it here.
You know, Nashville is one of the hottest spots for musicians and rock bands right now. I was just there earlier this year for Rock and Podfest, and I met some incredible artists there. And I've, you know, just amazing artists. You know, you've got so many Nashville bands, Rival Sons there. You've got, you know, so many strong players. But so you're based in Nashville then?
Yeah, there are half of us are in Nashville, the other half are in North Carolina. So we rehearse in North Carolina, but we record in Nashville. So it's sort of like a mixed bag. And I think it's so funny you bring that up because I remember when I first moved here, everybody would like kind of, you know, give me a little bit of crap being like, oh, you're a country band now. And I'm like, you would be surprised how much of the rock scene is in Nashville right now. It is such a great place to be.
Yeah. And it's funny because, you know, I was telling, you know, a bunch of my colleagues, like, hey, I'm headed to Nashville. You know, I'm going to be interviewing some artists out there. Oh, what country artists are you interviewing? I'm like, no,
not anymore.
No, Nashville is no longer has a country stamp on it.
Absolutely.
It's pure rock and roll. And now with your band, Um, this is an amazing single.
Thank you.
Now, are you planning on doing a full record?
Yeah, I think we have so many songs that we've created over the last couple of years. And instead of just doing your traditional album format, I think the industry is proven that we're getting away from that. So we're having a lot of fun just doing the singles game, dropping them one by
Right,
one, giving each song its moment to shine, to be able to deep dive and talk about each one so that stuff that you're proud of doesn't just kind of get lost in the mix of a
right.
full album because everyone's attention span is so short, myself
I know,
included.
right?
But
That's for
I think
sure.
eventually we will package them together as an album, you know. So for people that come to shows and want to buy them all as one full body of work, you can do that. Maybe we'll throw some bonus tracks in, or you know, another incentive to get people interested. But for right now, let's just pump out one song at a time, and you know, like I said, be able to chat about it, go on the road and talk about each one, and really hear what people have to say about it. And that's just been like super fun. Like it's not something we've really done before, but I'm all in at this point.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's really the trend right now is just dropping singles every like 3 to 4 months or six
Yeah.
to eight weeks.
Hmm.
And you know you're still on the road performing, correct?
Not right now. We just got home like a couple of weeks ago. So we're in that period where we're home working on getting the next one ready to rinse, repeat, and do it all over again.
Oh wow. So do you guys have any more upcoming dates for the end of 23 here coming up?
Yeah, we have a couple of dates coming up for in the next couple of months that we'll be announcing pretty soon that I'm
Okay,
pretty stoked
awesome.
about. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely hit me up because I'd love to help you promote those shows.
Oh,
So
you got it. Say less.
definitely stay in touch with me for there. So tell me, JC, what are your influences vocally or
Oh
even
man.
performance wise?
So growing up, I listened to a lot of like my mom's music in the car, which was like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, all these like huge belty singers. And I loved like Christina Aguilera as a teen, like again, just a singer that roars. So I think when I was first learning how to sing, I drew influence from a lot of those type of vocalists. And
Right?
then once I started getting into like my early teens, I discovered like No Doubt and, you know, pop punk and emo and just stuff that was a little bit grittier and more high energy. And I'm like, you mean I can do that? So, I mean, I have a lot of influence from, like I said, like the pop punk and emo worlds, metalcore, stuff like that. It just kind of started getting heavier as I, you know, got more and more into the rock world. And yeah, like I said, Gwen Stefani in particular is like a huge influence because she was like such a badass on stage doing push-ups and all of that during the Tragic Kingdom era. But then she also didn't have to sacrifice any of her femininity in order to be taken seriously. And that was something that really spoke to me. So yeah, lots of love for Gwen Stefani, no doubt.
Oh, well, that's great. And JC, what do you love about music?
Oh my God, what don't I love about it? I love how, as like a shy person who's afraid to speak up, I felt like it was an outlet where I felt safe enough to express myself, not just, you know, through the music itself, but also through live performance, just being able to find that like sense of community and connection in people. That's something that I never really had in my life until pursued music.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an amazing thing we call music, and it affects all of us in different ways. And
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, your band is really interesting to me. Let's talk about the other members of your band
Okay.
and what how they contribute to the like divided.
Yeah, so Adam and I, my drummer, he was with me when we started this project. So he's been with me through the full ride. And I was always more of the creative aspect of the band, and he would handle more of the business side because I thought that stuff was like hella boring. So I was like, you book shows, you talk to all the people, I'll sit here and, you know, be the vision and all of that. And then through touring and playing shows, we met our current members, Doug and Scott. And obviously they contribute to the whole process. We also, Doug, like our whole live show, that's Doug's thing. He takes care of all of that. Scott is like a Swiss Army knife. He jumps in wherever we need him to. So that's kind of everybody's role.
Well, that's great because you know I noticed watching the video that you guys are really a tight unit and you all have a part to play, but
Mhm.
yet you're all as a group,
Yes.
which is amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we've just been doing this so long at this point that, like we really try to figure out what everybody's strong suits are and just let them kind of shine in those areas.
Yeah, and now do you ever play Nashville or do you go outside in Nashville?
We play all over. We actually played our very first show in Nashville since I've been a resident. Just a couple of weeks ago, and that was really great to be able to have some of the new friends come out and check out what we do. But I mean, I love being on the road. I love to travel. I love being able to go as far and wide as possible. The Vegas was a really fun city to play the last time we were there. I'd love to come back. It's been we haven't been there since pandemic because that's made
Right.
life a little tricky, obviously, but
Yeah,
definitely something on
obviously.
our hit list again.
Yeah, but you've played a lot of festivals. You've done quite a bit. I mean, you've been to, Blue Ridge Rock Fest, which we saw what a tragedy that was
Ooh.
last week.
Just eat my popcorn.
Right. I'm like, okay, well, I'm moving on from that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's so many great festivals in this country that, you know, these bands have, really been hitting it hard. And pandemic,
Yeah.
I think, brought everybody back to where it was. It was like a reset, I
Absolutely.
think, for everybody. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's important because your band is great on record, but let me tell you something. When they see you live, that's where they're gonna hit it. They're gonna get the entire package of what you guys are about.
Absolutely. And that's my favorite part of doing this. Like, I love being in the studio and I love being able to take something and bring it to life. But there's nothing better to me than live performance, being able to like really feel those emotions in the moment and share that with, whoever's there to see us, whether that be in a small intimate setting or, like these big festival shows. Like,
Right.
I'm here for all of it. It's literally my favorite part of what I do.
Yeah, it was funny because the part of that video when I was watching you, you were playing to that crowd like it was 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And I mean, amazing.
I mean, like I said, I do that in my bedroom, like with a hairbrush. That's just what I love to do. Like,
Uh-huh.
if someone's watching, cool, but I'm gonna go, full force the entire time, no matter how many people are there. Everybody's gonna get the same show.
Right, which is great. That's what I think the viewers want to see. And with your sound is very different. It's strong, it's super powerful. And I think with your voice on top, it's like icing on the cake.
Well, thank you, thank you.
So what now you said you got a couple more gigs coming up later this year, like well, it's a year's old. Isn't that crazy? The year's almost over.
I cannot believe that we're halfway through September. I heard that today, and I'm like, where did it go? Like,
Yeah,
how
I'm
is this
like,
possible?
wow. We're like, yeah, we're
Right.
halfway through September. And I mean, the next couple months, a lot of bands that I've been interviewing are trying to get in as many shows as they
Mhm.
can before December. Because as you all know, if you don't have a New Year's gig, you're done till 24.
100%.
Yeah. So, yeah, so now's the time to hit it hard uh,
Mhm.
on the road. But okay, so what are your future plans here in the next few weeks while you have your downtime? Are you writing? Are you recording?
Yeah, we're just kind of taking a look back at some of the songs that we had written in the last couple of years and kind of bringing them up to the same standard as Rain and some of the other ones that we've put out to make sure they're really, they're cohesive. Because, like I said, we'd like to eventually package them. So, maybe re recording some vocals, maybe smoothing out some things here and there that don't necessarily feel right now that you have a time to step back and revisit it again, make it new again. Maybe do some alternate versions like acoustic versions or like a remix of it or something like that, just to bring something new and fresh to it. And then, like I said, then put it out and hit the road one more time and keep it moving.
424, yeah.
We're 24.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, because I mean, you guys are on a great path. And with the new music that you guys are going to be recording for 24, I mean, it's only going to put this band over over the edge and right back out there on the road
I hope so,
in
absolutely.
24 for sure. Now I know you opened up for bands like In This Moment,
Mhm.
10 years.
Yep.
How was it like opening up for those bigger bands?
It crazy, and actually In This Moment is a really funny story, because we've opened up for them multiple times. So the very first time we opened for In This Moment was like this really small venue in Virginia where they were still like a relatively unknown band. Like we brought out more people than they did as like the local support. So to just play with them then, and then to play with them as they snowballed into this huge mega band has just been really inspiring to watch. And Maria Brink has been like an absolute doll, sweetheart through the entire ride. So to see somebody that's so talented and achieve this crazy level of success also be like super humble and sweet is, like I said, just super inspiring, and gave me a lot of hope for the future that is possible in this industry, because some people aren't so nice, but it's always nice when you have somebody that's like an inspiration to you and they're super cool as well.
Yeah, this industry is very fickle, you meet
Hmm.
thousands of people, you meet thousands of artists, but you know what? 90% of the artists, almost 99% of the artists I've met are very humble. So
Absolutely.
I think since pandemic, it's actually humbled them because, they had no connection with their fans other than via YouTube or Zoom.
Yeah.
Um, and doing live events, as you all know, a lot of bands did those live streams and
Hmm.
so forth. But because I was interviewing bands all the way through pandemic,
Right.
were breaking up as I was interviewing these bands. So
Yeah.
to see these bands become more humble and more connected to their fans is a win-win in my book because
Couldn't
the
agree
fans,
more.
right? The fans are what's going to catapult them over the top, and sell.
Mhm.
You have a lot of merch, right? Merch, stuff like that when you're selling it at your gigs. I mean, that's super important. You want to get that merch on those bodies in the audience, sell.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I think, like you saying, like I think is like the silver lining for, at least for bands that came out of the pandemic, is we kind of realized how much we need each other. And so
Right.
when shows started to come back, like I felt like the fans were grateful to be able to go to live events again, and bands were grateful to be able to play and have the connection with their fans again. So it was really been just a positive outcome getting back into the whole hitting the road and playing gigs again. Like, so at least for me, I was super grateful. I mean, I'm always like one of the people that will hang out, buy merch, and like just talk to as many people in the room as possible.
Right.
But I know that there were a lot of people that just kind of took that aspect of it for granted until they were put in a situation where they couldn't do it anymore. So it has been great to
Yeah.
see that come back.
Yeah. And I think it's super important that connection between the fans and the artists. It's
Absolutely.
pretty amazing because it's like a domino effect. If you meet, a young lady that's maybe, 16, 17 years old and really looks up to you, she's going to tell all of her friends about you and how cool you are.
100%. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of young people that are very impressionable and come to your shows, come to all these shows, and they're the future of rock as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I know when I was growing up and trying to like navigate my way as a female in the industry, I had, there was Haley Williams and Amy Lee and all of that, but
Right.
they weren't accessible to me at all. I couldn't just ask them for advice. So and then I would play shows and it would just be like a sea of sweaty dudes. So it's been really cool as I progressed in my career to a point now where like on this last tour there were girls that were 11, 12, 13, 14 years old coming up to me and talking to me. And I was so happy to be able to give them little nuggets of advice that I've picked up over the years. Like it's been so cool just to see more women in at the shows itself and interested in music. And like I said, even if I can give them a small bit of wisdom, I'm so happy to be able to do that because I remember how hard it was not having anybody
Yeah.
like that to be able to get any kind of knowledge from it all.
Right. And I think be giving feedback, giving back in this industry is so fulfilling. To, you know, even for me, doing my shows, bringing you and to people that maybe have never heard your music, or
Yeah.
and it's really inspiring to me talking to artists such as yourself as well, especially women in this
Hmm.
industry. I think is making a huge comeback. Not that we were
Absolutely.
never gone, okay, but I really think that we're pushing forward in this industry.
Right. Yeah,
And
I feel like for so long we were just looked at as a gimmick, and I think, we're at a point now where that's not the case anymore, which is really refreshing. Like, the future is female, and there's so many great bands of all genres that have women involved, and it's been freaking so great to see.
yeah, and I mean, even as a rock journalist, I mean, there were a lot of journalists out there that I looked up to, rock photographers, you know,
Hmm.
Annie Leibovitz. You know, I have Sally Steele, who's an amazing rock journalist in Las Vegas. I've looked up to her for many years. And, you know, Eddie Trunk is a great guy, you know, but I feel for myself that, you know, I'm laying the foundation for what my platform is. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that everybody enjoys watching my interviews. And it's in 24, it's going to really explode for me as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's just been really exciting time, especially as a woman in the industry.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
get
we
into it.
power on, man. We gotta keep these
Exactly.
guys in line, right?
I'm gonna bring back the Spice Girls and just girl power.
Could be the rock girls,
There
you
we
know,
go.
for sure. I mean, crazy. But it was great talking to you, JC. Why don't you tell the viewers all the platforms that you're currently on so they can find your music?
Obviously you can check us out on Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of the things, straightforward, just at a light divided across the board. So I won't bore you with all the different little things. So yeah, I run all of the pages. So be my friend, talk to me.
Oh,
Is
sure. Now,
that-
are you on TikTok?
yes, ma'am.
All right. Yeah,
I
TikTok.
just started it, so it's new and I
Okay,
have no idea what I'm doing,
I
but
will
we'll
blow
figure
you
it out
up.
together.
Right. But anyway, TikTok is the hottest platform for live rock bands, even bands to get their name out there.
Oh
So
yeah.
definitely, I will definitely be sharing your stuff when I see you on there. Make sure that of course, you're putting For You, right?
Hmm.
Okay, make sure you put Rock For You and Metal For You. That's going to get you in other categories as well.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, but it was great meeting you. Let's keep in touch. Okay,
Absolutely. Very nice meeting you.
it was great meeting you. Hopefully we'll meet in person at some
I would
point.
love to.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I want to thank Shauna for putting the interview together for me. She's amazing. Love you, Shauna.
Absolutely. She's a
And
doll.
yes, and we will talk soon.
I look forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
You too. Bye.
A Light Divided. This is a great young band. Um, they're from Nashville, from the East Coast, and they're all coming together as one. So this is a great band to watch for. They've got over 2.8 million Spotify listeners. So I hope that you guys check them out on Spotify. A Light Divided. I am the Vegas rock goddess, Carol Nevin. Thank you for watching. Always like and subscribe to On the Rocks Total Entertainment. And I will see you next time.